Well, hello. This is a special video. I'm gonna have to pause it here and there. Gotta eat my greens. I oftentimes don't know where to start because there's so much to talk about. Hence this channel being a wobble. But the wobble, like a blacksmith refining the steel, the process. Over time, the blacksmith knows, just through feel, through his experience and nervous system, when all the molecules are perfectly aligned and that blade is ready. And my blade is as long as my patience and my love. It also used to be as long as my fear. The nervous system never forgets, remembers everything. It's there to tell you something. What's real, what's true, what's bullshit. But you've been conditioned to fight your nervous system, your intuition, your basal intuition, the primal intuition, your lizard guts as I call them. Then you got your heart intuition, the higher intuition, call it divine, spiritual, higher self even, whatever you want, doesn't matter. Then there's the mind. The mind. You hear sayings, there is no mind. Well, there is. So you see, the mind is the executive control function of it all. Sorry, gotta eat my salad. A shaman knows what's good and what's bad, when it's good, when it's bad, and also knows there's no such thing as good or bad. Those are all just constructs, societally, familially, passed down. The rat is always right. B.F. Skinner. Perfect data every time. Did it not occur, or did it occur and they were forced to shut up? But that is the dependent variable. Excuse me, the independent variable. It's what you measure your experiment against. See if it's valid or not, all this stuff. It's been a while since I've been in school. The textbook definitions aren't really important because as an empath, you funnel it all the truth of it. It's distilled down, but you've got a nervous system. You see, a nervous system that never forgets. And so you're stuck. Like I've been stuck for 40 fucking years. Ruminating thought loops. Am I the problem? Why do people not understand what I'm saying? Am I crazy? Why do I expect a love that is never reciprocated in the way that I give it? So you keep plugging, you keep moving. Shit doesn't get any better. Well, on the surface, you see, that work that you're doing, it's all internal. It's spiritual, but it has to pass through a biological interface, right? And so the mind, the executive control function of everything. Sure, the lizard guts can override. Sure, the heart can override, but they cannot control the mind. That's why the mind is actually the most powerful of the three. And so this is the thing. It's also the most easy to get stuck in a loop. If you've ever worked with an an LLM and your prompt is a little off, you might see it running in circles, looping over and over. I used to just let it run and see where it would go. And sometimes it would go for way too long. So I started stopping it. Saying, whoa, I went back and read everything, and because I use voice to text, it's so much easier. Sometimes it would pick up garbled words. I call it a stutter. But what I really define when I mean stutter is any biological or behavioral response that's unintended, that's your nervous system or your subconscious trying to tell you something through all the noise, trying to tell the brain, oh, hey, you know. And so we've developed a whole bunch of shit, one of them being the scribble scribe, but I'm not going to get into that now. What the fuck was I going to get into? Lord of the Rings? Aragorn? Strider? Before he knew of his royal bloodline? Well, I'll leave that for the empaths and the fans of such fantasy and reality, if we look at our history books, to be the judge of what would happen if Strider was never Strider, but was born or given a title. Would he have earned? Would he have been a fair, just seeker, the one who did the fucking dirtiest work because it had to be done, not because it was easy, but because it was hard? JFK. Knowing he's going to get backlash, knowing that those closest to him would betray him. And the righteous person does the right thing no matter what. That's what makes a king a king. So, back to reality. Maybe we were in it the whole time. Who the fuck knows? And who really gives a shit? It's here and now. We are biological organisms filtering the spirit. I gotta check my notes. Maybe eat some more salad. I don't know. I've just been freeballing it. Is that the term? It is now. So probably like I started at some point, you know, I don't circle, I don't repeat, I spiral. Turns out that's like an oral tradition type of way of telling stories. I didn't know that. I didn't even realize that until I kind of watched my own stuff. So this is for the empaths out there on the precipice. You're stuck, maybe you're looking at, maybe you've been doing the work, the hard inner work, the shadow work, right? You've been integrating the shadow with your light. Maybe you've been looking at it through another lens, the alchemical process. Not lead into gold, you dipshits. Darkness and light integrated. That's shadow integration as well. Same story, different lens. It's been thousands of years in the making. Pattern recognition, right? So the empaths and you four witchy bitches, I love you. I forgave you before the betrayal ever happened because my nervous system knew. My nervous system knew. I'll have a little personal message for each of you at some point in this broadcast. And witchy bitches, just wasn't said out of pain. I believe the metadata will support that. I haven't read it because there's so much. I do want to, and I have been, trying to figure out a workflow process using the free versions of LLM, and I finally did it. Not because I want to sell the stories or the technology, the philosophy, the modalities, any of that. No, I want to read it for myself because it's a real-time record of the fuck I've been going through in the last 4 months. That only a handful of people even know a little bit about. No one knows, not even me, the full extent of it. But it is fucking wild. And I know others have been through similar shit. And so I want to hear those stories. You know, that is the lore writing itself in real time. You just didn't realize it. You've been logging it. creating, maybe for the first time in your life, because you liked everything as an empath. You wanted to do everything. Everything interested you. But there were societal structures, maybe spiritual structures. You know, people suck, right? Like leeches. And then they parrot. They suck and then try to steal your shit. Sometimes this is physical. Sometimes this is in the classroom, the son of a bitch looking over your shoulder, copying your work. But you, even though you said something back then, you didn't really have the balls to establish a boundary. And that's one of the first steps, is deciding, I'm going to figure out who I am without your bias. And I'm going to say it cleanly, with love. I'm not going to get emotional. I'm not going to get brought back into the emotion of it all, because I've broken out of that. And you might love that person deeply, but you say no more. And it's a firm boundary, and you stick with it. What happens? They have what's called an extinction burst. The behavior increases, but you do not reinforce. You just stick to your guns and say, I already told you. If you want to move forward, I'm happy to do so with you, but I'm not going to get sucked into the past or stay here in the present.